Hello. So I was gonna do this at home and do a video all about NFTs because as a dad, it's kind of my job to sort of think about investing in the future, and NFTs seem to be a possible option to raising money, to generating a passive income, but also losing all your money and getting nothing out of it. So I wanted to do a video because I've been spending a lot of time in the Discord channels, investing and losing a bit of money, and getting involved with some really cool projects like the Gorilla, Generous Robots, a couple others, one called Luchadors, which somehow they're going to make me money, apparently. So I wanted to get into it and talk about it. But first, I need to get coffee because I haven't had one yet and my head hurts. But first, just so we're clear, what an NFT is. An NFT means non-fungible token, and fungible means if something is fungible, you can replace like for like. So if I have a can of Coke and I sell that can of Coke, I can replace it in my fridge with another can of Coke. It's the same, it tastes the same, it looks the same, it's the same value. A non-fungible thing, in this case a token, is something that is completely unique. So the picture has its own metadata, its own unique piece of code attached to it that makes it completely unique. You can't trade like for like. One is one. That's it. There's nothing the same. Even if there's multiple versions of the same picture, it's not the same. So that's what NFT is. Where the value comes in is largely perceived, but also utility. So for a piece of art, let's say, people think that it's worth something, so it becomes worth something. Same as any currency in the world, really, but with something that's tangible. If you have an artist, a digital artist in this case, who's creating some work, people think it's worth something, and so the value goes up. If people don't care or don't like the art, or they value it as not worth anything, it reduces in value. And so those people who have invested early, and they say, I think this is worth $1,000, in a week's time it's now worth $5, tough. Where the utility side of things, and that's a really important thing for the future of NFTs, is that it provides some kind of service. And of course, because this is all online and all digital, the service can be cut. It can be stopped. The creators can disappear, and you're left with nothing. That's a rug, because it gets pulled out from under you. And that is what makes this sort of landscape of NFTs and digital commerce so risky, is because if something happens to the piece that you're holding on to and you think it's worth a decent amount of money and worth investing in, if it suddenly overnight becomes nothing, sorry, tough luck. And so there's a few ways of really doing your research and doing everything you can as an investor, as a supporter of a project, to find the ones that will hopefully, again, this isn't financial advice, so don't sue me if it goes wrong, hopefully give you a return on investment, an ROI. And so there's three things you can do. One, look at the community. Look at the amount of people in the Discord. Look at the quality of their conversation. Is it bots, or is it actually people asking questions, finding out the future or roadmap of the project, and are the creators in there answering questions, actually providing value to the community? Then you can look at the Twitter, which is the place where a lot of the conversations go on about the NFTs and the project, and that you can find a sort of support group. And the thing about the NFT community is that everyone wants each other to do really well, and so there's no one trying to sort of push you down, which is really nice. And that's something that's nice on social media, is the NFT community is really supportive, and they only want the best for the community because it helps everyone. So if there's people doing rug projects, doing scams, trying to sell not very good art, they don't want that in the community. But if there's really good projects providing utility, which I'll get onto in a sec, then people want that to succeed, and they're willing to invest their time, conversation, and ultimately money. The other thing is to look at the roadmap. So the roadmap is the plan for the future of the project. And so normally these things have design process, and they sort of break it down into phases. So design process, building community, minting stage rather, and then the future of the project. So is that to reinvest the profits that they make from minting or selling the NFT images or GIFs or videos or whatever it is? Or are they going to create a new kind of currency, which is a lot of what the most popular ones have done. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club have created the Ape Coin. The Generous Robots have created the Gear Coin. And then some others, the Luchador ones have created the Tacos Coin. And so with these coins, you can either buy merchandise, advance, or build on your own NFT collection, or in some cases you can actually convert it to US dollars, Canadian dollars, British pounds, whatever your currency is, and then that is creating actual tangible value. So that's how the most successful projects really go into another level, by actually making the holders money, and the money that goes into your bank, and you can pay your rent, you can put it towards your retirement, you can buy stuff. That's, I think, the future. There was a lot of talk originally about the metaverse, and we can have metaverse parties, and you can have an avatar that's going to be a lion or something, but we're too far off the metaverse to make that feasible at the moment. So it's not really of interest to a lot of buyers. Some NFT projects have created metaverse parties, but you're just standing in a virtual room trying to talk to people who you don't know instead of actually getting money. So I would prefer to involve myself with projects like Generous Robots, who have space robots coming out, which is the next collection. I think that's definitely worth looking at, because the value of those has gone up considerably, just the pictures on them by themselves, but then they're one of the best ROI performing token generators, so that when you have a Generous Robot in your collection, you can then stake, and we'll talk about staking in a second. You can stake your NFT, and then you get money the longer you stake the thing for. And that's really interesting. And Space Robots, part of the Galaxy Generous Robots, is really, really cool. And I'm trying to get involved with them. I'm really excited about the project. Then there's the Gorilla, AE on the end, NFTs, where they're doing an awful lot for the environment. They're doing beach cleanups. They're investing in plastic into gas plants. They're sort of processing plants. They're doing they're selling their own brand of matcha, and 50% of those profits are going back to the holders. And so they haven't started staking yet, but when they do, I think that's going to be something. So I'm really excited that I've got a few of those in my collection. And then there's ones where it's just art. And art can go up and down depending on the trends. It's more risky. You buy it because you like the art. And that's the only reason, really. It's hard to make an investment on art, same as it is normal. Like in real life, you see a piece of art, you like it, you buy it, put it up in your room, you look at it, and you enjoy it. That's why you have a piece of art. If you're buying a piece of art because you think it's going to go up in value, that's really risky. So, on your own head be it. Then there's the staking side of things, and that's the really interesting thing, because as I mentioned earlier, that's where you as the holder can make money. Beware of anyone saying it's a get rich quick scheme, or you're going to get rich quickly, because as we've known before, anyone who says you're going to make money really fast is probably just trying to get your money. They're the only ones who come out of it with your money. So staking is complicated, and I'm going to fail to explain it properly. I'll put a better sort of copy and paste description in the comments below. But what you can do is you hold on to your NFT. It's yours. No one's taking it from you. But what you do is you say that you're going to hold on to it. And so when all of the people who have bought their NFTs from a collection hold on to it, it creates scarcity. And that scarcity is really good for business, because if something's hard to get, it generally creates a perceived value. And so when something has a perceived value that goes up, more investors want to get on board with it, and it's really good for the creators and the people who run it. And so they can then get further investment, which then puts more money back into the collection. As far as I understand, that's as simple as I can get it. I may be missing something, so if I am, put it in the comments below. And so projects that have staking opportunities or staking in their roadmap, for me, are the ones that seem like you will get a return on investment. However, in order to find ones that will actually do that and will perform and will actually give you a return on investment, there's a few things you can look for, as I mentioned. So I said about staking in the roadmap in the community. The last one, which I just remembered and I just thought about, is a proven success. And so it's really difficult to find the sort of sweet spot where a product is cheap enough or inexpensive enough to jump on board and actually make a profit, but also be established enough where you can see that they've developed something substantial. The holders are actually getting money from it, and also there's enough growth opportunity where you're going to make some money too. So that's why I'm really rooting for the Generous Robots new Space Robots collection, because the Generous Robots original collection, they've gone up from being about, I think they started at maybe 1 or 2 Sol, which is like $100 or $200 each, and now the minimum you can buy one for is 15 Sol, and it goes up all the time. It's probably 16 or 17 by now, since I looked last night, and that's $1,700, and I can only imagine it's going to go up, especially when you have the gear token, which can be converted to actual money, which is amazing. So people are making real money. And then with the space robots, at the moment, last time I looked, people could make, I think it's about, I want to say it's about $15 a day from it, from having one NFT. So that's a really good return on investment. The other NFT collections that I'm involved with, the Gorilla, the Digital Luchadors, some other ones, they have either started to stake or they're about to, and so there's been no return on investment yet, but I believe in the project and I believe in what they're doing, and I have seen so much from the community and the creators and the founders, and I see what they're doing on Instagram stories and Twitter, and they're doing Twitter Spaces, which is like a sort of question and answer live podcast, which is really good. And so that kind of thing gives me trust in the project and in the people behind it. And so all of those things amount to me investing not much money, because I haven't got much money, but what change I do have, I put it into these things because I think it might pay off. And if there's something that's going to give me $15 a day, every day for a long time, fingers crossed, like that could be a retirement fund. Like if I don't touch that for 10 years and it still performs in 10 years, that's a lot of money. And that will be a nice chunk of change when, I'm old and I need a bit of cash. So if these things are still around, it's a big if. I'm really hoping, but there are a few projects where I really hope they're going to perform, and I really think they will. I think especially with the generous robots. I think they've established themselves enough. The community's thriving. I've been talking to the the creators and the team around them, and they're doing some really incredible things. As with the Gorilla, as with a few others, but I can mention them below. So, again, this isn't financial advice. I don't want to ramble on too much. Be careful with your money. Be careful with who you trust. Do your own research, of course, with any kind of investing. Are NFTs the future? Are they the future of investments and retirement savings? Who knows? Hopefully, yes. I think the landscape is changing so fast. It's a really fun one to watch and be part of. I mean, if it all goes to pot, then, it was fun while it lasted. But I genuinely think as these projects develop and get further investment from outside, like legit businesses, angel investors, that kind of thing, there's a lot of celebs getting involved. Like Snoop, Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, Justin Bieber's buying them up, Drake's buying them up. Like they're just all the people who are quite savvy with their money and like that kind of project. They're all getting involved pretty quick because the floor is low at the moment, and I think it's going to go up. So again, not financial advice. Good luck with everything. Leave your comments below. I'll try and answer any questions to the best of my knowledge, or I can just ask the founders if you have any questions. So yeah, I need to go and get coffee. My throat's drying and I got a blistering headache. So thanks very much. Love you. Bye. Nice one. Thank you. Got it. Oh, so good.